Saturday night, your phone buzzes. A friend, we're going out, you in? Some of you already know you're saying no. Others can't get their shoes on fast enough. Both of those people can be warm. Both can have close friends. Both can love people. The difference has nothing to do with personality. It goes deeper than that. Not introvert, not extrovert. Something else. Most people get this wrong from the start. They see someone who prefers staying home and think, introvert, quiet, not a people person. That is too simple. Some of the most social, talkative people you will ever meet recharge best alone. Some quiet, reserved people fall apart without daily contact. The label is not the thing. What actually separates these two groups is fuel, where the brain gets its power from. Think of two phones. One charges fastest plugged in at home. Still nothing running. The other charges best when it is active, in use, constantly connected. Neither is broken. They just run on different things. Your brain works the same way. Scientists ran brain scans on people who prefer being home versus people who crave going out. People who thrive around others showed strong dopamine activity in social situations. Dopamine is the brain's reward signal. More noise, more people, more stimulation, more of that signal. It feels good because the brain is being fed exactly what it runs on. People who prefer quieter environments had a much weaker dopamine response to those same situations. Not because something was wrong, because their brain runs on a different chemical entirely, acetylcholine. It fires during calm, focused thought. It makes you feel good when you slow down, not when you speed up. A 2012 Harvard brain scan study confirmed this goes all the way down to structure. People who prefer solitude have more developed gray matter in the prefrontal cortex. That is the part of the brain responsible for deep thinking, careful decisions, and long-term planning. One brain runs on speed and connection. The other runs on depth and focus. That is why telling someone to just get out more almost never works. You are asking them to run on fuel their brain was not built for. Where your energy actually comes from. Your brain uses about 20% of your body's total energy, even at rest. A big part of that goes towards scanning your environment, looking for anything unexpected. It never fully stops. When your surroundings are familiar, that scan quiets down. The freed up energy goes into focus, clear thinking, output. That is why people who thrive at home often do their sharpest work there. Not in meetings, not surrounded by others, alone, in a space they control. For people who come alive outside, the opposite is true. Their brain needs input, new places, unexpected faces, something happening. Take that away and they go flat, not sad, just switched off. Stillness does not restore them. It drains them. The cost for stay-at-home types is subtle. You can feel completely full without ever being challenged. Comfort is real, but without friction, growth stops. And because the comfort is so complete, it is genuinely easy not to notice. The cost for go-out types is different. They can run so fast they never stop to actually process what is happening. There is a difference between a full life and a meaningful one. It is not about liking people less. The most common misread of people who prefer staying home. They do not like people. Almost never true. They want fewer people and more meaning. Small groups, long conversations, the kind of connection where something real actually gets said. Research shows this group scores higher on loyalty in relationships. When they are fully in. They remember what you told them 6 months ago. When things fall apart, they are the one who picks up. People energized by going out move through rooms differently. They build wide networks fast. Opportunities move through people, and they are always inside those networks. One style builds fewer, deeper connections. The other builds many, wider ones. The cost for stay-at-home types, invisibility, talented, capable, and still passed over because they were not in the rooms where decisions got made. The cost for go-out types, spread so thin that the connections that actually last never get the slow time they need to form. Here is what all of this comes down to. People who stay home often build depth. People who go out more often build breadth. Both are real. Neither is complete without the other. The people who figured out how to pull from both are genuinely hard to compete with. Not because they work harder, because they never get stuck in just one direction. Why home feels so safe, and why that can become a problem. For some people, home is not just where they live. It is the first place they have ever felt fully like themselves. People who grew up in unpredictable or stressful environments built their sense of control at home. Their rules, their pace, nobody to perform for, that is not avoidance. For a lot of people, that foundation was what made everything else possible. But there is a line, and it moves slowly enough that most people miss it. The space that once protected you can start shrinking your world instead. You stop recovering in it. You start hiding in it. Until one day you notice you have been saying no to things you actually wanted, not because you did not want to go, because the effort of showing up felt too high. People who are always out have their own version of this. For some of them, going out is not about connection. It is about avoiding stillness. When everything stops, they have to sit with themselves. So every hour gets filled. Another plan, another place, another reason not to be alone. It looks like a full life. Sometimes it is just a very busy form of avoidance. When quiet stops being rest, there is a healthy version of loving your home, and there is a version that is slowly making your world smaller. The problem is, they feel almost identical from the inside. At first, both feel like peace, no pressure. No demands. But over time, one of them does something the other never does. Your sense of what is normal starts to shrink. Confidence in situations you have not been in for a while fades quietly. Things you used to do without thinking now require preparation. You start saying no to things you would genuinely enjoy, not because you do not want to go, but because the friction of getting there has become too much. That is not who you are. That is what happens when comfort goes unchecked. The question is not whether you like being home. The question is this: is staying home right now feeding you or protecting you from something you have been avoiding? Those are two completely different things, and only you know which one it is. If you love being home, you are not missing out. You are not behind. But be honest with yourself. Is home a place you are building from or a place you are disappearing into? If you are always out, you are not shallow. But be honest with yourself. When is the last time you sat alone long enough to actually hear what you think? Every preference has something real in it. Every preference has a cost. The people who understand which one they are running on are the ones who get to choose where they go next. The question was never whether you prefer staying home or going out. The question is, which environment brings out the best version of you? Answer that honestly, then build your life around that answer.